Governor Mike Braun now says it's increasingly likely he will call a special session. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Phil Sanchez.
And I'm Gina Galeros. The governor's remarks followed an event at the Statehouse this morning. News 8's government reporter Garrett Bergquist tells us how the potential special session is taking shape.
The governor says he still won't call a special session unless there is a clear consensus to do so among legislative Republicans. But he says it's increasingly likely he'll get that. Braun's comments on Tuesday are by far the clearest signal he's given yet. They follow individual statements by some Republicans who say they now support redistricting after earlier opposing it.
I think this ends up eventually in a place where, for the reason of redistricting and maybe other issues, that we'll get there. I've been very clear. I want it to be organic, because we don't do it unless it's going to be a successful outcome.
House and Senate Republicans met behind closed doors last week. They still won't publicly say where their caucuses stand as a whole. Braun says he probably would ask lawmakers to address other issues in addition to redrawing Indiana's congressional maps.
One could possibly be how we dovetail with the bill that was passed to make sure that our own state code will coordinate with it so that we can take benefits of what changed in the big bill.
It isn't really a one-issue special session. That's what he's trying to avoid. Let's use that term. That's what he's trying to avoid, because he can't get the support to have everybody come in just for that one issue.
Delaney says any argument for redrawing Indiana's maps mid-cycle ignores the fact the Republican supermajority already drew the current maps.
Are they saying they understole? That they didn't shoplift enough seats? That's a real test of a bad argument, when the justification keeps shifting. Now, as some people are saying, it's because the Democrats are violent, so we got to get rid of the Democrats. I've heard repeatedly that we should have no seats. We should have no seats because we didn't win any statewide elections. Where's that written?
House Speaker Todd Houston and Senate President pro tempore Rod Bray would be responsible for telling the governor whether their caucuses want to redraw the maps. Their offices have repeatedly refused for weeks to comment on possible redistricting. Braun says if he calls a special session, lawmakers would hold it sometime between early November and the beginning of the regular session in early January, likely earlier rather than later. At the Statehouse, I'm Garrett Bergquist for Wish TV and WishTV.com.